Outside the Box Reviews, we are taking a look at the NECA Robocop ED-209 figure. And this is yet another one of NECA's deluxe action figures, and I gotta say, these are a bit addictive. They started out with those Predator and Nightmare on Elm Street diorama packs, and I was a little lukewarm on both of those for just the cost and what you got out of it. But these deluxe figures, the Spider Gremlin and Ed here, are really, really cool and make me look forward to things like the Alien Queen in the future. But let's dive right in and take a closer look. And one of the big things with Ed here is his gimmick, his sound effects. He has a little button right here on his side, and I think the speaker comes out of this front little grill. So I'll turn this towards you while I hit the button. And now we're back to the beginning, but if you hit the button again, you do move to the next piece. So you don't have to wait for the whole quote to finish before you can get to the next one, but you can't actually cancel it once it's started. For looks, it's a pretty cool looking figure. It has a very nice looking kind of Kevlar-y dome up here. Of course, it's all just plastic, but the texture's nice. As you've been staring at it as the front grille, if you look on the sides, there's all kinds of wiring and stuff in there, making it look really mechanical. They picked a great bluish paint for him. He's got all the rivets, and the rivets are actually kind of dirty on here, all the nice ventilation ports. Now, I never knew until recently that the ED-209 was designed by the same guy who did the walkers in Star Wars. So this actually makes a lot of sense. We have a little warning sticker up here, a bunch more rivets and stuff, different items in the back. It's all kinds of cool mechanical stuff. Here's the top of them, still very nicely detailed, very cool looking. All kinds of vents and everything all over the figure. Down here in the back, it's probably the most unsightly part of the entire figure is some big bolt holes, but how often are you gonna be looking at that section of the figure, I guess? And also down here is where the battery compartment sits. So that's where you would actually change out these batteries once they go dead, or if you did have to take them out for storage. On top of each arm section, there's a little flap here. You can raise and lower, and that exposes the arm. Very cool looking mechanism, very silvery and dirty looking. Then we have the actual wires coming around the arm joint. They're flexible wires, similar to what we get on the Predator figures, so they'll move with the arm. And then we get the actual gun mechanism itself. It has what I believe are actually the ammo clips down here. So two big ones and the two machine guns with all kinds of wires and everything coming off of them. Very, very cool looking. On the opposite side here, a little different. It has the one gun, and then I don't know what this is supposed to be, but also has some more colorful wires on it. Little mesh panel up here. The one kind of magazine case here. Here on the arm, we had the little missile launcher apparatus, and at first when I got it, I thought it just kind of rotated slightly because it seemed like it was on a bit of a hinge, but it turns out that it's just kind of stuck when you first get it, and once you carefully kind of wedge it out of its stuck zone, it will actually slide upwards and look like a functioning little missile turret. So pretty freaking cool. We have some more warning labels, we have some more wiring. I like the warning label with the actual fingers missing on it. Very brutal looking, fits the tone of the film. Mid-torso kind of has the accordion style. I guess it'd be almost like an articulation point in the movie. Another warning sticker. And then we have the legs. Has some sculpted pistons in here, which I don't really know what those would be doing, but a lot of the same great details as the rest of the figure. We have the actual ratchet part of here. You can actually see the screw inside, which isn't what actually turns these, but as a mechanical device, that actually probably would be what moved the leg up and down. So very good attention to detail. You have little flaps down here that don't actually move, and I have one of them, this one right here, that mine sticks in a little bit. So if you want to move the legs down lower, you actually have to kind of pry it out of the way. The more great warning stickers and detailing here on the feet, and then some cool wires down here by the actual toes. Even some detail on the underside of the feet. Around back, more of the same. Just a very, very good looking figure. For articulation, he has a kind of waist swivel. This is as far as it goes. It can't go 360 or anything, but that's fine with me. As I said before, the arms have these flaps. You can move them out of the way to actually reach the articulation, but you could just rotate here at the shoulder. No ball joint or anything in there, even though it kind of looks like it should be. We have the hinge at the elbow. Very cool looking with that gear in there as well. And then we can rotate at the gun pods. Full 360 on those. For the legs, they rotate at the hip. He can also rotate here where the main leg connects to the lower leg, and then they will slide on this track. So you can raise and lower the leg, either like he's walking or just to give him different heights, but it is a little stiff. You can see I'm having some trouble with mine. So just be careful with it and get it where you want it. And unfortunately, no articulation in the feet. I would have loved some just to pose his feet a little differently, or to even recreate the scene where he's trying to go down the stairs and he's kind of like dipping his toe in like he's afraid of the bath water or something. And here we have a size comparison next to Robocop himself, and I think they're fairly in scale. I want to say I remember Ed being a little larger than this in the movie, but if he is, it's not by much, and I think for what's feasible to put on a shelf, it works really well. And overall, I think Ed-209 is a very cool figure. He definitely warrants his deluxe status. Is he as cool as the Spider Gremlin? No. He also doesn't cost as much as the Spider Gremlin, if you shop around at least. So I don't think that's that big of a deal. So far, I haven't seen this in any chain stores. I don't think Toys R Us picked him up. I haven't seen him at my local FYE, and Spider Gremlin showed up there, but this guy still hasn't. I actually found him at a comic shop, and that leads me to my one major warning about this figure, which isn't really a warning about the figure itself. It's just shop around, do your homework on them. If you have options either online or in stores, definitely compare prices, because I got mine for a steal. It was significantly below what I've seen it sold online for, and that's just freaking awesome. So obviously, I mean, I think any figure qualifies that. The best price you can get at, the happier you're probably going to be with your overall purchase, especially when it is something nice like this. But at least in my experience, deals are to be had. But very strong recommend for Ed-209. Robocop has not been a line of NECAs that I've been super, super into. I have two of the Robocops, the battle damage and the leg holster version. I have this. I probably don't need anything else if they ever come out with any more. I don't need the glow in the dark. I don't need the NES version, and I can't see anything else coming in the future that they would possibly produce that I would ever need. So I think Ed-209 here closes out my Robocop collecting, but what a way to do it. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Also check me out on Facebook, link below. And until next time, it's been another Outside the Box Reviews.